In a series of discussions, I tried to cover the reasons for restlessness among the youth in India. In that context, in the first video, I tried to dwell on the unemployment prevailing in India, which is causing much of the restlessness among the youth in India. And as a part of my part 2 in the series of reasons for restlessness among youth, today I would like to take up the topic relating to the failure of the Indian youth in succeeding in the Indian education system. What's actually causing the unrest among the youth in the context of the Indian education system is what I'm going to discuss today. The failure to succeed in education system in India is a multifaceted issue driven by a combination of structural, social, and economic factors. Some key challenges contributing to this issue are, first and foremost, inequality in access to quality education. Urban versus rural divide. Schools in rural areas often lack basic infrastructure, qualified teachers, and learning resources. Students in urban areas, particularly in private schools, have much better access to facilities which create a big disparity. Economic barriers is another major reason because many children from economically disadvantaged families face difficulties accessing quality education due to high tuition costs, lack of transportation, or the need to contribute to household income, or their inaffordability in going for private classes. Second issue impacting the Indian youth in terms of the prevailing education system is the rote learning and exam centric system. The Indian education system often emphasizes rote memorization over critical thinking, creativity, and practical application of knowledge. Success is frequently measured by marks and exam performance rather than actual understanding of subjects. This focus on exams, especially in higher secondary school and entrance exams for colleges like JEE, NEET, and various other competitive courses, creates immense pressure on students, leading to burnout, anxiety, and sometimes even student suicides. Third issue impacting the students in the Indian education system is curriculum irrelevance. Much of the curriculum in schools and colleges today is outdated and does not align with the skills required in today's job market. Subjects like coding, financial literacy, and digital skills are often absent or underemphasized, leading to students being underprepared for the workforce. Fourth issue is teacher quality and training. Many schools, particularly government-run ones, suffer from a shortage of well-trained and motivated teachers. Teacher absenteeism is also a significant issue, especially in rural areas. Moreover, teachers may not be equipped to handle diverse student needs, leading to disengagement and dropouts. Fifth issue is lack of vocational training and skill development. The education system traditionally focuses in India on academic subjects with little emphasis on vocational training or skill development for non-academic careers. As a result, students who are not inclined toward academic paths often feel left out with few alternatives for success. Sixth issue is socio-cultural pressures. There is immense societal pressure to pursue conventional fields like engineering, medicine, or law. Even if students have different interests or aptitudes, this rigid outlook often leads to students pursuing degrees they are neither interested in nor suited for. Additionally, societal stigma around failure often discourages experimentation or risk taking in the educational journey. Seventh issue that is faced by our Indian youth is predominantly the infrastructure and technological gaps. Many schools, especially in rural areas, lack adequate infrastructure, including libraries, labs, and access to technology. In a world that is increasingly reliant on digital skills, this creates a significant disadvantage for students from underprivileged backgrounds. The digital divide was so highlighted post pandemic, with many students unable to access online education due to lack of devices or internet connectivity. Eighth issue impacting the youth in India in terms of education is the high dropout rates. Economic pressures, child labor, and early marriages are still prevalent in many parts of India, contributing to high dropout rates, particularly among girls. This limits the opportunities for many to succeed in higher education. The ninth issue is limited higher education opportunities. While there are many students graduating from secondary schools, the availability of quality higher education institutions is very limited. Prestigious institutions like IITs, AIMS, National Institute of Technologies have intense competition, leaving many students without a pathway to pursue further education in their chosen fields. Tenth issue is mental health and well-being. The pressure to perform academically coupled with a lack of support for mental health in schools contributes to the psychological burden on students. There is often little focus on emotional well-being or counseling services to help students cope with academic stress. Though the list is endless, but I tried to cover the most stress-pressing issues in this discussion. Whereas possible solutions I feel could be: one, the curriculum reform has to happen on revolutionary basis. We need to introduce a more skills-based, practical and training-based, student-centered curriculum that promotes critical thinking, creativity and application of knowledge. Second most important thing in terms of solutions is teachers training. We need to invest heavily in regular professional development programs for teachers to improve their teaching skills and teaching methods, focusing on personalized learning and 21st century skills. Third important thing in terms of a possible solution could be vocational education. We need to expand vocational and skill development programs in schools to provide alternative pathways to success for students who are not academically inclined. And then we need to focus on digital infrastructure. We need to strengthen the digital infrastructure in schools, especially in rural areas, to bridge the technology gap and provide equitable access to online learning. And mental health support to students on 24 by 7 basis. We need to introduce counseling and mental health support systems in schools to help students deal with academic pressure and personal issues on 24 by 7 basis, either through offline or through online. Last but not the least, policy and administrative reforms. Government initiatives like the National Education Policy NEP 2020, which was to address some of these issues, but consistent implementation of the same is very crucial. The Indian education system needs a holistic overhaul to ensure that it caters to the diverse needs of the students and prepares them for future success. Hope the information is useful. Thank you very much for your patient hearing.